Welcome back, everyone. If you're preparing for the CompTIA CloudNetX exam, you already know that cloud skills are in high demand. This certification tests your knowledge of cloud infrastructure, deployment models, security, troubleshooting, and operational best practices. And the best way to learn is by practicing. So in this video, we're going to go through another set of CloudNetX practice questions using Skilltestpro, helping you build confidence and sharpen your skills before exam day. Let's get started. First question. Which approach provides the fastest recovery time objective, or RTO, for a mission-critical cloud application? Storing backups in a cold storage tier? Implementing manual failover with secondary sites? Using active-active multi-region deployment? Relying on snapshot-based backups only? Or disabling automatic scaling to prevent resource overuse? The correct answer is using active-active multi-region deployment. Active-active multi-region deployments ensure continuous availability by running workloads simultaneously across multiple regions, enabling near-instant failover in case of an outage. All right, next question. An organization is transitioning to a zero-trust security model in its cloud infrastructure. What is the most critical component? Relying solely on perimeter firewalls? Using a single sign-on or SSO solution for all applications? Encrypting all internal network traffic? Implementing multi-factor authentication and least privilege access? Or eliminating network segmentation to reduce complexity? The correct answer is implementing multi-factor authentication and least privilege access. Zero-trust security models assume no implicit trusts and enforce strict identity verification with least privilege access to minimize attack vectors. All right, question 3. Which strategy is most effective for optimizing cloud networking costs without sacrificing performance? Reducing virtual machine instance sizes? Increasing bandwidth allocation across all regions? Implementing a flat rate pricing model for data egress? Using reserved instances for predictable workloads? Or disabling auto-scaling during peak usage? The correct answer is using reserved instances for predictable workloads. Reserved instances provide discounted pricing for long-term predictable workloads, reducing cloud expenses while maintaining performance. All right, question 4. An enterprise is using cloud-based object storage for critical backups. What method ensures the integrity of stored data? Implementing asymmetric encryption? Using checksums and hash functions? Enabling data deduplication? Relying on high availability storage architecture? Or deploying multiple storage regions? Correct answer is using checksums and hash functions. Checksums and hash functions validate data integrity by ensuring stored files remain unaltered, detecting corruption or unauthorized changes. All right, question 5. A cloud provider wants to optimize data traffic flow between different availability zones while minimizing latency. What is the best strategy? Using static routes to predefine traffic paths? Enabling NAT traversal for external communication? Configuring a single region with multiple availability zones? Relying on traditional network load balancers? Or implementing software-defined networking, or SDN? You would be correct if you chose implementing software-defined networking. SDN allows dynamic traffic routing based on real-time network conditions, reducing latency and optimizing data flow across availability zones. All right, question 6. What is a key advantage of employing behavior-based threat detection systems in a cloud environment? Is it they can identify previously unknown threats by analyzing activity patterns? They rely on known signature databases to detect threats? They require less computational resources compared to traditional methods? They eliminate the need for human oversight in security operations? Or they are easier to implement than signature-based systems? The correct answer is they can identify previously unknown threats by analyzing activity behavior patterns. Analyzing activity patterns. Sorry. Behavior-based detection systems monitor and analyze patterns of activity, enabling the identification of anomalies that may indicate new or evolving threats, enhancing proactive security measures. All right, question 7. Which security measure is considered a cloud-native control? Installing traditional firewalls on virtual machines? Utilizing cloud providers' identity and access management services? Deploying on-premises intrusion detection systems? Implementing hardware-based encryption devices? Or using third-party VPN solutions for cloud access? Correct answer is utilizing cloud providers' identity and access management services. Leveraging the cloud provider's built-in identity and access management services ensures seamless integration and takes advantage of native security features designed for the cloud environment. All right, question 8. Which approach best ensures both scalability and redundancy in a cloud network design? Deploying resources in a single large instance to handle peak loads? Using vertical scaling to upgrade existing resources? Scheduling resource provisioning during off-peak hours? Centralizing all services within a single data center? Or implementing load balancing across multiple smaller instances? The correct answer is implementing load balancing across multiple smaller instances. Distributing workloads across multiple instances with load balancing enhances both scalability and redundancy, allowing the system to handle increased demand and providing fault tolerance. All right, let's keep going. Question 9. What is the primary benefit of implementing network segmentation within a cloud environment? Simplifies network management by reducing the number of subnets? Increases network performance by combining traffic flows? Reduces costs by minimizing the need for network appliances? Enhances security by isolating sensitive workloads? Or facilitates compliance by consolidating audit trails? The correct answer is enhances security by isolating sensitive workloads. Network segmentation divides the network into distinct sections, isolating sensitive data and applications, thereby reducing the attack surface and improving overall security. All right, question 10. An organization is designing a hybrid cloud network to ensure high availability and fault tolerance. Which strategy best achieves this goal? Is it implementing a single VPN connection between on-premises and cloud environments? Utilizing multiple geographically diverse direct connections? Relying solely on public internet connections for cloud access? Deploying a single cloud region with multiple availability zones? Or using a mesh topology with dynamic routing protocols? The correct answer is utilizing multiple geographically diverse direct connections. Establishing multiple direct connections in different geographic locations enhances redundancy and fault tolerance, ensuring continuous connectivity between on-premises and cloud environments. All right, question 11. A development team wants to test an entirely new environment configuration alongside the existing production environment without interfering with it. What environment strategy should they use? Canary deployment? Parallel environment, staging environment? In-place update? Legacy environment reuse? Or rolling update? The correct answer is parallel environment, staging environment. A parallel staging environment replicates production, enabling full testing of configuration changes without exposing users to risk. It ensures safe experimentation and validation before rollout. All right, keep going. You guys are doing great. Question 12. A cloud operations team needs real-time visibility into resource metrics, such as CPU saturation and disk I/O across thousands of nodes. What should they use? Local logging? Manual SSH checks? Spreadsheet tracking? On-host text files? Or centralized metrics monitoring platform? The correct answer is centralized metrics monitoring platform. Central monitors ingest standardized metrics from all nodes. They visualize trends, they generate alerts, and they support real-time dashboards. They power auto-scaling, performance tuning, and anomaly detection at scale. All right, question 13. A data processing pipeline must guarantee that once a job begins, it cannot be run again concurrently. What mechanism supports this? Parallel queue consumers? Multiple API retries? Eventual consistency? Multi-zone replication? Or distributed locks? It's that last one, distributed locks. Distributed locks ensure that only one worker can acquire exclusive rights to a job or resource at a given time, preventing concurrent execution. They maintain consistency, and they prevent race conditions in distributed systems. All right, question 14. A microservices workload experiences high latency due to services repeatedly fetching the same reference data. What's the best optimization? Store reference data in a distributed cache? Fetch data on every request? Disable caching? Increase the VM CPU? Or store data locally on disk? The correct answer is store the reference data in a distributed cache. A distributed cache reduces repeated calls to slower DBs or APIs by keeping frequently accessed data in memory across nodes. It significantly improves latency and it reduces back-end load, especially for read-heavy workloads. All right, question 15. A global e-commerce platform needs to ensure that authentication requests go to the closest available region for lowest latency. What solution provides this? CDN caching? Global traffic steering for identity endpoints? Local hard-coded DNS entries? Manual routing rules? Or single region authentication? Correct answer is global traffic steering for identity endpoints. Global steering dynamically routes users to the nearest healthy authentication endpoint. This reduces login latency, supports failover between regions, and ensures resilience across geographic areas. All right, question 16. A compliance officer requires proof that certain cloud data has not been modified for 10 years. What technology ensures immutability? Standard object storage? VM snapshots? Worm storage? Incremental backups? Or cache replication? Correct answer is worm storage. Worm storage enforces strict immutability, preventing changes or deletions to stored data for a defined period. It satisfies stringent compliance rules like financial retention laws, providing cryptographically verifiable integrity. All right, question 17. A company wants to allow external partners to publish messages into its event stream without granting internal permissions. What should be implemented? Shared master credentials? Open public endpoints? An API gateway with scoped tokens? SSH tunnels? Or direct database access? The correct answer is an API gateway with scoped tokens. An API gateway enforces authentication, rate limiting, and fine-grained authorization using scoped tokens. External partners receive limited privileges to publish events without accessing internal infrastructure, ensuring isolation and security. All right, just a few more. Question 18. An application performs heavy CPU-bound calculations and requires long-running tasks without interruption. Which compute option is ideal? Serverless functions? Spot instances? Container tasks with minimal resources? Lightweight edge devices? Or reserved VM compute instances? Correct answer is reserved VM compute instances. Reserved VMs provide guaranteed capacity for long-running compute-intensive workloads. Serverless platforms may time out, and spot instances can be interrupted. Reserved VMs ensure stable performance and predictable cost. All right, question 19. A financial auditing service must verify all configuration changes across the environment. What solution best satisfies this? Ad hoc manual reviews? cloud native configuration tracking service, weekly snapshots, change logs stored on local disk, or, well, same question again, change logs stored on local disk. The correct answer is cloud native configuration tracking service. Configuration tracking services automatically record every change, including who initiated it, when, and what was modified. They provide immutable audit trails essential for regulatory compliance in finance and security-sensitive industries. And finally, question 20. A developer needs to ensure that a serverless function triggers only when a set of required events completes, not on each individual event. What cloud pattern supports this? Event routing, aggregator pattern, direct invocation, queue polling, or sync API chaining? The correct answer is aggregator pattern. The aggregator pattern collects related events until a condition is met, e.g. all required data received, before triggering the main function. It is ideal for multi-step workflows, composite events, and conditional processing. And that is another round of CloudNetX practice questions complete. Great job working through them, everybody. Remember, success comes from repetition. The more practice questions that you tackle, the more confident you're going to be when it counts. I've added the link to Skilltestpro in the description and in the pinned comment down below so that you can access their full question bank and also keep training. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.